The film begins with an intense scene at the harbor, where CIA operatives and American Special Forces are involved in a shootout while conducting an operation to locate bombs and illegal weapons smuggled by a terrorist organization with plans to detonate Washington, D.C. Heading the operation is CIA agent Jenny. Following a fierce clash, they manage to overpower the terrorist group, but upon inspecting the container, they discover it's empty. Baffled, Jenny questions a suspected terrorist who denies any involvement in the smuggling. Meanwhile, a convoy of vehicles races towards the airport, where CIA Chief Mike is in conversation with Nisa, the wife of the suspected terrorist Amin Monair, a British citizen of Arab descent. Mike urges Nisa to persuade her husband to reveal details about the smuggled goods. However, Nisa struggles to find the right words, given the months of separation from her husband. At the same time, Amin has already been apprehended and is about to be picked up at the airport. Upon reaching the airport, they anticipate the arrival of Amin Monair. Mike is greeted by Jenny, who has ensured security at the airport. Jenny suggests taking on other responsibilities, but Mike assigns her to accompany Nisa instead. Jenny is confused as she usually handles more demanding tasks. Shortly after, Amin arrives, escorted by Jake, a Special Forces member recognized for his outstanding skills. Jake effectively neutralizes all the members of the terrorist group and safely escorts Amin. Seeing his wife Nisa, Amin approaches her feeling guilty and offers his apologies. Nevertheless, Nisa, filled with fury and disillusionment over Amin's actions, proclaims that their family is now in ruins. She discloses that she is 4 months pregnant and insists on knowing the whereabouts of the concealed bomb. Despite Nisa's appeals, Amin remains silent, motivated by the thirst for vengeance for their firstborn son's past demise. Amin, originally from Iraq and residing in England, was a decent person. His family was falsely accused of terrorism and assaulted by American soldiers during his brother's wedding in Washington, D.C., resulting in the death of their son. Subsequently, he vowed to seek retribution and obliterate Washington, D.C. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Jake reassures his wife of his safety via video call. However, he notices suspicious individuals downstairs. He concludes the call and tracks them, discovering they are mercenaries scheming to seize Amin. Jake promptly assaults them but acknowledges their formidable strength and numbers, prompting him to opt for escape with Amin and Nisa. Amidst the turmoil, several CIA agents perish, yet Jake successfully escorts Amin and his spouse into a vehicle. With all communication networks seized by the mercenaries, Jake is unable to reach anyone. He remains unaware of the source funding the mercenaries but acknowledges their exceptional training. Furthermore, the mercenaries persist in pursuing Jake's vehicle until ultimately obstructing the road. With no other choice, Jake must go back to the airport to safeguard Amin and Nisa. Inside, Amin queries Jake about the mercenaries' target, him or Jake. Jake reassures him that they're aiming for Amin, not him. They opt to separate, with Jake intending to deal with the mercenaries while Amin takes care of Nisa. Shortly after, one of the mercenaries locates Amin and Nisa. Just as the mercenary is about to apprehend Amin, Jake appears and neutralizes the mercenary. Jake realizes the mercenaries want Amin alive, likely because of the bomb he possesses. He attempts to pressure Amin into revealing the bomb's location, but Amin declines, fearing Jake won't protect him if he does. Amin pledges to disclose the bomb's whereabouts if Jake ensures their safe departure. Jake agrees and promptly equips Amin and Nisa with bulletproof vests. Afterward, they flee to the higher floor. Meanwhile, in a different room, the leader of the mercenaries, Jackson, is coordinating with his 2 top associates, Dunbar and Ward. Jackson directs them to apprehend Amin Monair alive before midnight. He requires substantial cooperation to locate the bomb and issue a video statement. Shortly after, Jackson's henchmen breach the CCTV system and locate Jake, who is escorting Amin and Nisa to the 5th floor. Jackson then commands Ward and Dunbar to capture them simultaneously. Jake successfully guides them to the 5th floor, aware that CIA Chief Mike and his team await on the 7th floor. However, to reach there, Jake confronts the mercenaries who have tracked them down again. After a heated confrontation, Jake ultimately escorts Amin and Nisa to the 7th floor, where Mike interrogates Jake regarding the mercenaries' motives. Jake lacks all the details but presumes they desire Amin to stay alive. Following that, Jake invites Amin to a discussion. Jake implores Amin to divulge the bomb's whereabouts, pledging protection and legal immunity. Upon hearing this, Amin requests time for contemplation. Conversely, Nisa tends to Jenny's injuries, disclosing her prior profession as a doctor. Subsequently, she approaches Amin, urging him to disclose the bomb's location before the mercenaries locate it. Meanwhile, Jenny inquires of Jake whether Amin has disclosed the bomb's location. Jake then clarifies their arrangement that Amin will reveal the location once they are secure. Jake reveals a phone obtained from the mercenaries, uncovering their identity as Team Phage from Virginia, with the objective to capture Amin alive. Nonetheless, their leader remains unidentified. Meanwhile, Mike contacted Amin and requested him to listen to a recording of a woman's voice on his laptop. Upon careful listening, Amin discovered that the voice matched the woman who encouraged him to bomb Washington, D.C. Amin also recognized the voice as Jenny's. Upon this revelation, Mike swiftly aimed his gun at Jenny, demanding she admit if she was behind everything. Jenny refuted the accusation, arguing that many people worldwide share similar voices. Suddenly, they encountered another assault from Jackson's henchmen, sparking a gunfight. Amin tried to escape with his wife, but he was apprehended, while Nisa managed to flee downstairs, witnessing Amin's capture. Jake hurried to rescue him, engaging in combat with Dunbar. Unfortunately, Jake was already fatigued, resulting in his defeat by Dunbar. Simultaneously, Ward seized Mike, and Jenny executed him, confirming Mike's earlier accusation that she orchestrated the attack. Additionally, Jenny enlisted Jackson's team to apprehend Amin and seize the bomb for her own agenda. However, Jenny remained unaware of Amin's bomb hiding spot, necessitating his capture alive. They transported him for interrogation, subjecting him to torture in hopes of disclosing the bomb's location. Despite the torment, Amin refused to reveal anything, prompting Jenny to order her henchmen to apprehend Nisa, believing that torturing her would coerce Amin into talking. In a rush, Jenny's henchmen hurried downstairs to locate Nisa. Meanwhile, Jake regained his composure, swiftly incapacitating one of Jenny's henchmen who was searching for Nisa. Subsequently, he encountered another henchman who had captured Nisa, leading to yet another confrontation. Finally, Jake overpowered him and dressed in the mercenary attire to blend in, pretending he had apprehended Nisa. Using this strategy, Jake could move around freely, entering the room and pretending to deliver Nisa. At that moment, Jenny hadn't recognized Jake yet, so she promptly threatened Amin, forcing him to disclose the bomb's whereabouts. Amin admitted it was in container number 90. Jenny then directed her henchmen to notify Jackson to secure the bomb. Later, Jenny wiped Amin's face and coerced him into making a menacing video directed at the American government, threatening to detonate the bomb. Initially hesitant, Amin yielded to Jenny's threats and reluctantly followed the instructions. The video stated Amin's intention to seek revenge in Washington, D.C., demanding $500 million to spare the city. After recording the video, Jenny immediately executed Amin and proceeded to rendezvous with Jackson to retrieve the bomb. She framed Amin in an attempt to extort money from the government, intending to acquire both the money and the bomb under the guise of a henchman. Jake was astonished to discover that Jenny was the mastermind behind everything. He took out Jenny's henchmen and asked Nisa to wait while he intercepted Jenny and Jackson. Initially, Jake's disguise fooled Jackson's henchmen, but Dunbar uncovered him on the train, resulting in a confrontation. Recognizing that Dunbar and his crew were too formidable, Jake enticed them to a warehouse. Inside the warehouse, Jake stealthily moved to eliminate them all. After successfully dispatching all of Jackson's henchmen, Jake promptly halted Jenny. Meanwhile, Jackson was observed relocating the container containing Amin's bomb to the airstrip, intending to board the plane with the bomb, departing from Washington, D.C. Jenny would remain on the plane, believing her mission was accomplished. Jenny also restored the network she had commandeered to make contact. Simultaneously, Jake had arrived and was covertly tracking Jackson. He also noticed that the signal had come back, so he promptly reached out to his higher-up at the FBI for help. Suddenly, one of Jackson's henchmen emerged, but Jake subdued him. Following that, Jake assaulted the remaining henchmen of Jackson. After overcoming them all, Jake confronted Jackson in an intense duel. Despite their equal strength, Jake opted to handcuff Jackson rather than kill him, desiring him to face full consequences. Inside the plane, Jenny gave in as Jake had neutralized all the mercenaries and henchmen. However, she cautioned that this was just the beginning, as she and her team had devised an even more significant plan. Shortly after, the FBI arrived and apprehended Jenny. Jake then seized Jenny's phone and erased the threatening video before it could circulate. Consequently, the movie concluded with the moral lesson: when plotting a grand scheme, ensure your voice isn't as distinctive as your plan is disorderly. Otherwise, you might find yourself in a chaotic pursuit of bombs, eventually ensnared in your own intricate web of disorder. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell if you want to watch more videos like this. Thank you for watching and see you again soon. Take care.